back in baseball after a little bit of time away. What's it been like just getting back into the groove for yourself personally?
You know, I mean, as much time as I've spent in the game, it took me a while. And when I say that, I mean like before spring training. And I'm glad that, like, I spent a lot of time in Cincinnati this winter, but it's, sometimes, like, I've missed time being sick the last few years, and you miss a week and you're like, whoa, you miss a year. But then you put your uniform on and you get with a group and you get with people, you'd be amazed how fast it's we, and it feels good.
How much has the game changed from when you first became a manager decades ago?
Shoot, man, when I first year in Philadelphia, we had a general manager and assistant general manager. That was it. Now there's a baseball ops crew that is massive. And so the biggest thing is there's people, and when I say coming at you, I don't mean like, but with ideas and, you got medical and this, and so sometimes there can be a lot coming at you. So trying to filter that can be really important.
What about the players, the guys in the clubhouse? How is that different from when you were first coming up?
They certainly make more money, which is okay. That good for them. I hope all our guys get rich. I love that. Baseball's still baseball. And when you find baseball players, regardless, it doesn't matter how much money or how much money they aren't making, when they're baseball players, and I try to remind them that too, this is what we are. You play the game good, you're gonna get paid, but it doesn't change how you play the game.
Your whole career, players will come out and they talk about how great you are being one of the guys as a manager. How has that changed for you over the years when it comes to player-manager relationships?
I don't think much. I probably like their music a little less than I used to. I don't try to hide the fact that when you're around the players, because that's why we're here. I had my chance. We're here because of them. And they're fun to be around. Yeah, there's times I got to deliver some messages that are kind of hard, and it never gets in the way of that. But I don't try to hide the fact that I do like being around them.
One of the things about this team last year before you got here was that maybe the clubhouse wasn't in the spot that it should have been as far as personalities go for whatever reason. When you walk into a situation where a culture is important, what's the first steps that you implement?
Well, one, tried to do some homework before I got here. And the culture actually, again, they were so young. And I'd gone through that in Cleveland. Sometimes you're asking guys to compete and they're still trying to survive. And so, again, hopefully another year of experience and getting some of these guys back healthy puts us in a position where we're starting to get ready to compete as opposed to just trying to survive.
You've adapted with the times. You're on Instagram now.
No, I'm not.
You're not?
No, I'm not. I never will be. I have somebody that does it for me. My kids keep texting me like, Dad, your Instagram account stinks. But they know it's not me. I'll never be on social media as long as you know me.
I was very surprised when that came out because you didn't come off as the social media.
I will never in my life. And I've never seen I don't have the account, so I don't know what's on it.
It's pretty good.
But I trust Pam Ganley. She was the PR gal in Boston, and she's kind of morphing into another role now. So she asked me if she could do it, and she's like my little sister. So I trust her with everything.
You fooled me. I thought it was you.
No, it'll never be me. I promise you that.
You've talked about one of the reasons that you came back was you think this team has the potential, it has the talent. What is it specifically about this young group of players that really stood out to you?
When I was talking to Nick and Brad in Tucson about this job, because I didn't have to come back. And everybody, they're like, well, man, thought maybe you'd go to a team that's, spending $300 million or, the idea of going through stuff with people that I respect and care about. And with a young team like this, you'd like to hope you could make a difference. I don't need guarantees. I like the journey. I enjoy it. Yeah, there's going to be some tough days. I hope not a ton of them, but but trying to figure it out with people that like I said, I respect and care about, I get a big kick out of that.
Topic of journeys, one of the most exciting ones in baseball is your shortstop, Ellie De La Cruz. When you see him, what do you see as far as potential goes?
I mean, you know, you can't say this about everybody, but it's it's limitless. I mean, when you have a kid that likes to play as much as he does, has the ability that he does, and is the kid that he is, kind of got a pretty good package, man. I mean, that's, you know, again, with maturity, and not that he's not an immature kid, but I mean maturity on the baseball field, it's going to get exciting.
Second base, Matt McLain, is a guy who, although young, seems to be very mature. One of the biggest arguments you can make that your best offseason acquisition was him getting healthy.
I agree with you.
What do you expect from Matt McLain this year coming back?
Well, I agree with what you just said. For a young kid, that's a pretty big compliment, but I agree with you. Very fundamentally sound, you know, got a little bit of Pedroia in him, and anybody that's been around me for 10 minutes knows how much I think of Pedroia. That's about as big a compliment as I can give somebody. So keeping him healthy and on the field is going to really help us.
Your pitching staff, a lot of young talent, live arms. What about your pitching staff do you need to see in them to help you guys go and play October baseball?
I think it starts with health. You know, with health, I think you're going to see production, because I agree, they're talented. They're you know, they're young, still learning. That's okay. But we got to keep them healthy. That's why with a couple of these guys, we've slow played it a little bit, because limping through the season, there may be a time for that when you get late, not in April.
You bring up health. A lot of the guys on your team, it seems like they're in the best shape of their life. Andrew Abbott looks like he dropped 20 pounds. Other guys came in really good shape this year. Was that something that you harped on in the offseason?
Well, I got Jamer Candelario. I mean, I went down and saw those guys, and I told them, I said, give yourself a chance to play third. You know, let's see what happens, but give yourself a chance. Look how he showed up. You know, yeah, there are, and a lot of times, you know, this time of year, everybody's glass is half full. It's supposed to be. Nobody's lost yet, but there's a reason that we are excited, because I agree with you. They came into camp as a unit ready to go.
What's your goal year one with this team?
I want us to play the best baseball we can play every day, and practice the best baseball we can every day, because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what is going to get thrown at us, what injuries occur. So show up and try to help us play and be the best team we can be. And then if things, wherever we get challenged, I always feel like if we do it together, we'll find a way to figure it out.
What's the identity of this team going to be?
We don't know that yet. That's part of the fun of, because even when you have the same guys, every year is different. And the quicker you find that identity, I think the better, but it takes some work. And I told them the first meeting, man, that like the loyalty and the trust, if it happened overnight, it wouldn't mean that much. So it takes some time, but we'll work at it.
Opening day in Cincinnati. What are you most looking forward to?
I'm glad I'm not playing. I'm glad I'm managing instead of playing. You know, I got probably the shock of my life in '87. I didn't realize how big that is in Cincinnati. And back then, it was always the first game. And, you know, it was like a holiday. And yeah, there'll be a lot of emotions. It always is opening day. But truth be told, I get more of a kick of when we get into the grind of the season, get everybody's first out of the way, and then let's see how good we can get.
Bring up that '87 season. Pete Rose was your manager, the late Pete Rose, and he was your teammate in 1984. This year, the Reds are wearing a 14 patch. What does that mean to you that they're honoring?
I will wear that proudly as you can. Anybody that played with Pete, you're not going to find a better teammate. And again, he was probably 20 years older than me. He treated us young kids like gold. I mean, we hung on him so much that, you know, I mean, he's a pro's pro. And then I got the honor of playing for him. It killed me because I played so bad. I hit so bad that I felt like I let him down, and it bothered me. It's like I got amnesia and forgot how to hit, but I love the guy. And I tell people this all the time, I have no ability to not be biased when it comes to Pete. I know there's some things that happen. I can't be I love the guy.